Hello Internet. This will serve as a public service video to inform you that some alleged new players might not be authentic, they might not be genuine, they might be trying to dupe you into saying that they are new players so that you take it easy on them as they request, so that they can get easy and cheap wins from strangers because they have low honor, integrity, and just general lack of moral fiber and overall poor character. So let's go see how this game here that I played today panned out. It didn't go well for the trickster, I'll have you know, because this supposed new player wasn't aware that people would be prepared to counter them, and I happen to be an intermediate player that is just good enough to not get hoodwinked like this by this slime ball. So let's see how new players open in the first 10 seconds, 12 seconds. So there we are. Finally selected. So, set down the land factory instantly. All new players know right off the gate. It's instinctual, you know. It's passed down from their ancestors' knowledge. Like butterflies, they just know how to navigate with the build blueprints and the build paths. It's just instinctual. So, you set down the land factory, not besides the mass extractor. No. That's a noob trap. You set it away so that you can get mass storage above, to the side, and below it, as advanced players do. And so, after you get the land factory, you build power first, because idiots build mass extractors first, even though it's the most valuable resource in the game, and there's only 2 resources, so you should probably do it first. But this player is not like that, and only one of them, because all new players know you're only going to need 1 power generator to do all the early game things you want with 1 land factory. It's just instinctual, you know, and then you make the other mass extractor. Besides that, you throw down another mass extractor above that, and you know, it might seem far away that you're going to have to walk, but new players know that appearances can be deceiving, especially this new player who can appear one way and then actually turn out to be another. So let's see how the game cooks up. What am I doing on the other side? I'm throwing down my land factory, and then like a novice, really, like an inexperienced, clueless buffoon, I set down a mass extractor first. And the game reflects that I have more score, but the game even is a noob. The game doesn't even know how to judge the accuracy of its own mechanics in terms of who's at better standing in the game, really. So, let's see the build out of the land factory. Every new player knows to throw down 2 engineers, 2 land bots, and have the land bots rush for your opponent's natural expansion paths for resources. Every new player knows this. And now, why do I keep on saying that this Clan Kennedy 2004 player is a new player? Well, in the chat beforehand, I asked if the player was there, what was the holdup, if the map settings were okay, and this, that, and the other thing, and then they informed me that they were AFK to make a coffee, and that they were new, so they wanted me to take it easy on them. Well, I have been around the scene for some time, and there's a whole lot of new player snake oil salesmen out there, and just a lot of deviant players who will play in an underhanded fashion such as this, wherein before even 2 minutes, 2 land bots are coming to wipe out all of the enemy engineers. See, I'm an honorable player, and I just walk right past. I'm just here to get intel, you know. I get blapped for it. No good deed goes unpunished. You know, it is what it is, c'est la vie. And just on time, all new players know that they are perfect in all things, and that their bots show up at the exact correct nanosecond to intercept the enemy builders. This is just new player stuff. So, new players don't really need more than one factory. Intermediate players who are noobs make more than one factory to get more units, to try and kill their enemies faster and apply more pressure generally and deny them resources, etc. New players, however, know the maps better, and they're aware that more units and strength in numbers is only valuable in circumstances in which there are no funnels and choke points. On a map like this, numbers and numerical superiority is it's irrelevant, because new players, they just rush for commander upgrades really quickly, as we'll see shortly. So here on the other side, I got my anti-air mobile because intermediate players have been known to throw out bombers and air generally and harass. So it's really a good idea to get anti-air unless you're a new player, in which case you know that the enemy is not going to be pressuring you early with bombers, and it's just it's absurd to expect to need anti-air. It's really irrelevant. Now let's see, what is this new player up to? It's a very strange thing here. Surpassing my score. Doing what? Let's see. So, new players know that the only faction in the game, Cybran, has access to medium tier 1 bots that can assist in repairing, constructing, and generally producing things. So you can just queue up actions and then have the bots assist in the construction. All new players know this, that they have tanks as Cybran that can assist in rushing out tier 2 turrets. This is just regular, really commonplace, honestly. And new players are also known to, within 4 minutes, 30 seconds, upgrade their resource extractors to tier 2 because they know that they really don't need to put their money into units to defend it. They'll just upgrade behind. This is really new player stuff. And here we are. So intermediate players versus new players. Let's have a quick talk about that. New players expect every idea that they have to work right off the get-go, and don't really give their opponent credit and attribute competence to them, because why would they be competent? They're probably just as novice at the game as the new player, and lacking in skill and competency, all that. It's nah. The enemy can't be better than me, so it won't work, right? Like, they're gonna attack in my front. I'm gonna set down a turret. They're not gonna be able to outmaneuver me and draw transports behind my lines. No, it can't happen, because then I lose as a new player, right? So you just have to put all thoughts of doubt. This new player is just really something of a bold player, and not self-doubting, very courageous, not attributing skill or competency to the opposition, So here I come with my transport, trying to outmaneuver the detection of the new player. And it just so happens that their frontal defense is thin, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 semi-wounded vehicles lose to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 vehicles, but there's a T2 turret right there. And all new players know that the T2 builder that sets down the T2 structure does not need to finish the building. It can get its land bots to pick up after it. All new players know this. This is child's play, And so, my transport is maneuvering around the detection and notice of the enemy, dropping off in the rear lines. Perfect timing to intercept the patrolling engineers that are gathering extra resources behind all the debris. And new players are really just known for gathering all the reclaimed local resources around the border of the map. It's just a new player thing to do, you know. And so the new player is advancing their commander, and then new players respond within 10 seconds or less to any surprising occurrence in the game. Their new players' reaction times are just really the quickest in the game. New players are known for sending all of their things that are defending their front to their rear if they're getting rear harassed. It's just, come on, it's commonplace to have new players respond this well. And new players give up on their frontal sieging down with turrets, and then they put one on the high ground from the low ground. You know, new players know that they have a build range that can go on different elevations. This is just a new player thing. Well, let's see. Will the new player be able to handle the pressure that this intermediate player, being myself, can put out? Let's see. Bombers coming in, destroying the new player's anti-air. Yeah, I really wasn't having it at this point. We're going to be destroying almost all of the new player's economy, and they'll be left with only 2 mass extractors. Oh, scratch that. Only 1. And 1 land factory, and a couple power generators. And now all the radar is gone, and new players know immediately when bombers are coming in, you gotta set down the tier 1 anti-air, but then they also know when to recall and forfeit the game, you know, because it's really just, why would a new player play to the end in an honorable way and play to the death? No. New players, they gotta play new games. That's what makes them a new player, right? They constantly gotta play newest matches. New. Anything that's over fucking 10 minutes isn't new enough, you know? It's just not fresh enough. I hardly scratched the enemy commander, and somehow they just went kablooey, you know? And if there was a live recounting of the chat, it would show that this new player rage quit, and I am very happy to contribute to cleaning up the multiplayer scene, because there's just too many of these devious fiends out here that will pose as one thing and be another. These posers do. These posers that are looking, you know, to get easy wins must be thwarted because they are poorly comported. It's really a decency diff, I would say, to advertise yourself as a new player so that the opposition will take it easy on you, and then be the sort of player to rush tier 2 turrets with under 5 minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy.